All right, today we're firing up the test bench and diving into one of the most powerful tools in RF testing, the spectrum analyzer. We're going to see how it's used for some really practical, real world measurements that, frankly, every radio operator should know how to do. So let's get right into it. Now, this is part 3 of our 10-part tutorial all about RF testing with a spectrum analyzer. Today, we're really zeroing in on the world of amateur radio, ham radio, where using one of these isn't just a technical exercise, it's an absolutely essential skill for every single operator. We've got a fantastic roadmap for this one. First, we'll take a look at the ham radio bands, the playground, so to speak. Then we'll get into the nitty-gritty of making sure your own transmitter's signal is pure. After that, we're going to go on a little hunt for interference. And finally, we'll see how all these skills come together to solve a real-world mystery signal. Okay, first things first. Before you can make any kind of meaningful measurement, you've got to know the territory. The amateur radio service is a busy, vibrant place, so understanding that frequency landscape is absolutely key. All this gear operates in this incredibly rich playground of frequencies. But with all that freedom comes a big responsibility. Every single operator needs to be a good spectrum citizen, making sure their signals don't cause headaches for others. And that all starts with knowing the landscape and who your neighbors are on the dial. So here's our main playground, everything up to about 1.5 gigahertz. It goes all the way from the long-distance, high-frequency, or HF bands, to the super popular local VHF and UHF bands, like 2 meters and 70 centimeters. Now, the key thing to get here is how these bands all relate to each other. A harmonic, which is just an unwanted multiple of your transmission frequency, from an HF signal could easily land right smack in the middle of a public service band. And that is exactly why our next topic is so important. This brings us to what is, without a doubt, the most fundamental job of any licensed operator, making sure your own signal is clean. And for this, a spectrum analyzer is the ultimate tool. It lets you objectively see just how healthy your transmitter really is. Okay, before we go one step further, this is the golden rule. Seriously, say it with me. Attenuation, attenuation, attenuation. A typical ham transmitter can put out anywhere from 5 to 100 watts of power. That will instantly, and I mean instantly, fry the super-sensitive input of a spectrum analyzer. You absolutely must use a power attenuator to knock that signal way down to a safe level. This process here shows the whole checkup perfectly. First, you safely connect your transmitter through that incredibly important attenuator. Then, you set up your analyzer's frequency span and reference level. Key up the mic, measure your actual carrier power. After that, you widen the view to hunt for those pesky harmonics and spurs. And then finally, you compare what you see to the official FCC rule. And speaking of the rules, here they are. Down on the HF bands below 30 megahertz, any junk has to be at least 40 decibels weaker than your main signal. But above 30 megahertz, for a typical 50-watt VHF or UHF radio, that rule gets even tougher, 60 dB down. Now, meeting these standards isn't just about passing some test. It's about being a good neighbor and preventing your signal from messing with critical services. Okay, so you've done your due diligence. Your own shack is clean. Now, you can turn your attention outward. Let's be honest, the modern RF environment is incredibly noisy, and a spectrum analyzer is the perfect tool for playing detective and hunting down all those unwanted signals that plague the bands. This is just a fantastic rogues gallery of the usual suspects. And what's cool is that each one has a unique fingerprint on the spectrum analyzer. Switching power supplies create this wideband noise, while those powerline networking adapters make a very distinct haystack of signals. Once you learn to recognize these signatures, you can quickly figure out the source and know the right way to fix it, whether that's just snapping on a ferret choke, or in some cases, getting the utility company involved. Now, one of the most powerful tools in your interference hunting kit is something called zero span mode. It's a neat trick. Instead of sweeping across a range of frequencies, the analyzer just parks on one single frequency and shows you how the signal's strength changes over time. This is perfect for spotting pulsing patterns that are a dead giveaway for things like digital devices or power line noise, helping you nail down the source. And this brings us to the final step, the fox hunt. Once you know what the interference looks like on screen, you connect a directional antenna, like this simple loop here, to a portable analyzer. By just rotating the antenna and watching for the signal strength to peak, you can literally walk right to the physical source of the noise. It's pretty cool. So let's put it all together. We're going to walk through a real-world case study where an operator used these exact same techniques to track down and fix a really nasty interference problem. So here's the scenario. A ham radio operator is getting hit with a strong, continuous signal right on the national 2-meter calling frequency. It's making communication totally impossible. This is a classic ham radio mystery. So, how do you solve it? Well, you solve it systematically. First, a wide survey of the band confirms, yep, there's a strong rogue carrier. Second, a narrow span analysis lets them get a super precise frequency measurement. This leads to a critical insight. What if this isn't the main signal? By calculating potential harmonics, the operator identifies the real source, a commercial business radio transmitting on about 73 megahertz. Finally, that directional antenna leads them right to the physical location. And here's the solution. Turns out the problem was a failed output filter on that commercial radio. Once that little part was replaced, the unwanted harmonic on the 2-meter band dropped by a massive 50 dB, completely wiping out the interference. It's a perfect example of how knowing your tools can help not just you, but your entire community. The key takeaway here is pretty clear. What starts as a mysterious, frustrating problem becomes a totally solvable puzzle when you just apply some systematic analysis with the right tool. A spectrum analyzer lets you see the invisible, and it turns pure guesswork into real engineering. And that kind of leaves us with a final thought. The RF spectrum all around you is just packed with signals, both wanted and unwanted. Now that you've seen what a spectrum analyzer can do, what hidden signals might be lurking in your own environment, and how are you going to go about discovering them? Thanks for watching.